Hello everyone, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how to do the labs in this course. So for the labs in this course, we're going to use the Lab Connection software from Cengage, which comes with our textbook. If it didn't come with your textbook or you bought a used copy of the textbook, you may have to buy the lab access separately. So you're going to buy the lab access from Cengage. You can search for this ISBN number, which I'm going to post in the announcements. So you can use that ISBN to search for the labs. So once you arrive here, you're going to purchase your access if you haven't already done so, or if you don't already have an access card from the textbook. And once you do that, it's going to send you an access code that's going to look, and I'll paste it in here once we get to it. But it's going to be just a bunch of letters and numbers. It'll be about 14 letters and numbers, and that's going to be the activation code. So in order to access the labs, you'll have to create a Cengage account. So to create a Cengage account, you're going to go to login.cengage.com. And if you don't already have a student account for Cengage, you'll have to create one. If you already have one, you can simply sign in. But if you don't, you'll have to create one. So you're going to click on Student. So creating a student account. And in here, you're going to put in your email address since you're a new student. And you'll be able to log in. Now, I already have a student account, so I'm going to go ahead and log in with my student account. So once you get your user account set up for Cengage Brain and you logged into Cengage Brain, you're going to add a course or register a product, which you'll see a link up here at the top. So when you either purchase the book that had the access code in a card already attached to the book, or if you purchased it separately directly from Cengage, they're going to send you a code, and this is where you'll activate that code. So you're going to go in here, and I have a code here that I'm going to use to activate. So the code's going to look something like this. So mine's PP5WCSJP3DFQ8Z, so it'll be something along those lines. So you'll put the code in, hit submit. It's going to ask for a course key. You do not have to put the course key in. You're going to click on enter course key later. Since this is LabConnections, it won't recognize your course key. All right, so once you do that, you're going to see your course access listed here. So I happen to have a few of them in here because I purchased some other stuff here, but here we have some free study tools from the textbook that it automatically added, and then up here this is the course tools. And you can see it's good until next year, so you get access to this for 1 year. So to make sure this works, I'm going to click on it, and there's also a few more things that you have to do to set it up. You're going to land in LabConnections once you click on that. So in LabConnections, we're going to go to Activate Product. So right here, I have the screen where I can activate. So it's a little tricky to figure this out. I'm not sure exactly why they do it like this, but you're going to click on Edit, and then you have to paste that activation code in here as well. My apologies. Instead of putting that same code in again, this looks a little different now because I just did it, but I'll show you where to do this. Down here where it says enter the class code. So when you go in here, it's going to tell you that you have to activate, you have to activate a product. But if you go down here, you're going to type in the class code. So the class code, and I'll put this in Blackboard, by the way, under the announcements, but our class code is CT360 SP18, and then you'll hit submit. And once you do that, you'll see the class code show up. You'll see 7D642 show up here. You won't see the 646. That's for a different course. And it might tell you that there's labs in 646, but we're not going to do any of those. We only need the labs for 70-642, which is for this course. So once you do that, once you put those in, you're going to click on Labs, and you'll find all of the labs are here. So for instance, in the first unit, I ask you to do the labs for chapters 1 and chapter 2, because those are the chapters covered in the first unit. So you'll simply click on these, and it'll take you into the lab. You do have to have Flash working, so you might have to install the plugin for Flash. I'm using Firefox, so I'm going to tell it to allow Flash. And once I do that, the lab should come up. Once you complete the lab, so sorry, it's going to make a lot of noise here. So you'll basically go through the lab, and then you're going to select your answers as it asks you questions throughout the lab. This is a challenge mode lab, meaning that you have to answer the questions as you go through each step. So once you finish the challenge mode, it'll output a little lab report, that you've completed it. I should have access to see the results of your labs. So in Blackboard, you should just have to indicate that you completed the lab. You don't actually have to provide any evidence that you've done that. I should be able to just go and look at that in the in LabConnections myself. I'll see that you, it'll tell me that you completed the lab and you completed the questions concerning the lab. So, by all means, just let me know that you finished the lab. If I have to edit any of this, if I have to change any of these instructions later on, I'll certainly do that. But those are the basic steps to configure your access to LabConnections to complete the labs. I'll probably post another video with some alternatives to the labs later on. So make sure you check back later in Blackboard, and I might have some other possibilities for the labs. Thank you.